Yo, what is up, my Turtle Topians? What's poppin'? It is Jacob Curry back with another absolute banger. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my absolute complete reaction to Super Bowl 58. Of course, it was a sad one, but we're going to get through it. We got more seasons upcoming, and our future in San Francisco is bright. So let's get right into my Super Bowl reaction.
Alright guys, we are back. We are back in the lab. We are making another video. So, my Super Bowl reaction. Well, there's not much to talk about here. The San Francisco 49ers lost 25-22 to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas, my hometown. Yeah, it sucked. And the pain is unlike any other. I was able to fortunately experience another Super Bowl in my life, in which we lost to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 56 from Miami. And that was also terrible. But, to be fair, my first year ever watching the 49ers was that year. And to make it all the way to the Super Bowl in the first year of me watching football was probably one of the better experiences I had. And I wasn't used to losing. We had a great record that season. We went on to go absolutely kick the Packers behind in the NFC Championship game and just advanced to the Super Bowl. And at the time, it seemed like we had a complete team. I had faith in Jimmy Garoppolo. I loved our team. Debo looked good. We had Emmanuel Sanders still. And I think it was just the fact that our team was just not ready. Maybe Kyle Shanahan wasn't ready. Maybe the team in the whole just wasn't ready. But overall, we lost. Of course, with us losing the Super Bowl, it comes with an after effect. For me as a fan of the 49ers, of course, I'm going to be always faithful. Now, the first week, I was considering on changing teams, but there was the same thing when we lost back in the NFC Championship game last year against the Eagles. Of course, we got cheaped out that game. I don't care what you say. The 49ers got cheaped out in that game. But either way, I think if you look at it from the standpoint of an NFL fan like me, coming from a fan of the 49ers, it came down to one thing, and that was play calling. Kyle Shanahan, he's, a very good play caller. Maybe one of the best offensive minds in the National Football League. And it's been a proven fact for the last couple of years that when Kyle Shanahan gets into a big situation, he chokes. And I'm not blaming this whole thing on Kyle Shanahan. I'm not blaming the past two Super Bowls on Kyle Shanahan. I'm not blaming his 28-3 meltdown between as he was a member of the Falcons against Tom Brady and the Patriots. I'm not blaming that on Kyle Shanahan because there are other aspects of a team that it doesn't just mean the coach. Brock could have played better in the Super Bowl. As much as I think he played great, I think he could have played better if he knew the routes, if he looked to Ayuk in the end zone on that final play in overtime. Maybe we would have gotten the score there. Maybe Ayuk would have caught the touchdown. The game could have been different. It really comes down to taking the ball in overtime. But with that call by Kyle Shanahan, it enthusiazes kind of just like we're ready to go. We want the win. Let's just get the ball, score a touchdown, and let our defense cook. In this case, our defense did not cook. The most upsetting thing about the Super Bowl loss was the fact that me as a fan, before the Super Bowl, you get 2 weeks to prepare. That also means 2 weeks of trash talking. I trash talked a lot on Instagram, on Twitter, or X, my bad, on even YouTube. Like, I would go on to comment sections and I would just rant on about how the 49ers and how this Super Bowl was going to be different than Super Bowl 54. And, well, it wasn't. And there's nothing I can do about it. I said some things maybe I shouldn't have said. And nothing bad. But trash talking wise, I said some ridiculous things. And such as This is why Kyle Shanahan's going to become the best coach ever. He's going to win the next 5 Super Bowls. I would say some stuff like that. And of course, as a fan, before big games like that, even the NFC Championship game, I was talking a lot of crap. I love the Detroit Lions. I love the fans. I love that fan base. I love the coach. I love Jared Goff. Even though he was a former Ram, I have got a lot of respect for Jared Goff. Like, when you look at that game and look how much I trash talked in that, like before that game and after that game, it nearly backfired on me. And I think between the trash talking this year, like, if you guys don't know, I did attend the 49ers v. Bengals, or 49ers v. Ravens game back on Christmas Day in 2023. Last Christmas. I attended that game. I'll show some pictures right now. And when I attended this game, before the game, there was like some Raven fans that were on my plane there to San Francisco. There was some Raven fans when I got dropped off in San Francisco. There was some Raven fans when we were walking to the stadium and stuff. And naturally, me as an NFL fan, I'm going to talk trash. And that's just, it's something that people do. It's something us football fans do, is we talk trash. Unless you're a Panthers fan, you can talk trash all you want, especially this past NFL season. And I think me as a 49er fan, I know our history when it comes to choking. Between the NFC Championship game and the past 2 Super Bowls, choking has been the 49ers' biggest problem. Everyone say the Falcons are the biggest choker in the league, or this team or that team or whatever. But truthfully, the San Francisco 49ers are the biggest choker in the last decade of football. And it's just the truth. 2013, we go to the Super Bowl. We play against the Ravens. The light shut out halfway through the game. Well, guess what? That doesn't matter. We still lost. John Harbaugh couldn't get it done. And now Jim Harbaugh couldn't get it done. And now we go to, fast forward, 7 years later, 2020, we go to the Super Bowl with Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo. We have a stacked roster. We were the number 1 seed. Everything was going great for us. And we lost to Patrick Mahomes in his first Super Bowl victory, in which would be one of 3 that he made, and two of them have been against my team. And it just happens to be the fact that maybe we're just unlucky, but there are certain things that this 49ers teams have to change. We have to change during the offseason, and those things that we have to change are going to really determine the future of this team. And I do honestly believe if the 49ers, because we do have a lot of things we have to do this offseason, such as get a whole entire new offensive line, because I swear in the Super Bowl, our offensive line was just non-existent. I mean, it looked as if my cat or my dog, any pet, it would make sense if a cockroach could play better at offensive line than Jake Brendel. Trent Williams did fine besides the 2 calls that he got back to back. But Jake Brendel and Aaron Banks didn't play very great. And you look at it and it's just like our entire offensive line just realistically did not play good. Like I said, cockroaches could do better at offensive line. And so focusing on just getting an entirely new offensive line besides looking at left tackle, maybe look at futures of left tackle, get another tackle in the draft. Looking at these positions, just especially going into the offseason and stuff, we have to look forward to retaining Brandon Ayuk, being that he is one of the biggest receivers on our team. Brandon Ayuk has to stay with the team. Signing him to a bigger contract, extending him, something of that matter would definitely work. But we also have to leave cap room in there if we want to get another pass rusher. Because in this case, right now, Chase Young is going to become a free agent, and we have to pay him money if we want him to stay on the roster. So whether that is a 1-year, 2-year deal, whatever, we have to make it affordable in our cap space, because right now, technically, we're below the cap, but because of the way that they arrange the cap and how much they give teams and whatnot, I think we'll be perfectly fine, especially after the draft and whatnot. I don't think you will see the 49ers make a big splash this offseason. Like last offseason, they made the big splash of going out and getting Javon Hargrave on first day of free agency. You're not going to see that with the 49ers this year. I think Chase Young will more than likely walk, and one of 2 things will happen. we will trade Brandon Ayuk or we will trade Deebo Samuel. I do not want it to happen. I really don't. But if we do trade them, I want one of two things. I want a first-round pick for Brandon Ayuk, and I want a second-round pick plus a player for Deebo Samuel. And it's because these guys are skill position players. Brandon Ayuk is great at catching, he's great at route running, and he is one of the more underrated receivers in the National Football League. Deebo Samuel has a special set of skills that I don't really think any other wide receiver in the NFL has that set of skills that Deebo does. Deebo uses the set of skills of being able to run after the catch, like half of our team, but also being able to line up in the backfield and take a handoff, but also catch the occasional deep ball every game and go for 74 yards or whatever it is and find a touchdown off of a launch by Brock Purdy. Or a launch by heck, even Sam Darnold, I guess, could throw a launch and Deebo Samuel will come up with it and he'll make a big play. Deebo Samuel is very versatile in the offense. Shoot, Deebo Samuel would have played better at offensive line. I do think, realistically, we're looking at from a fan standpoint. Of course, I'm not the owner. I'm not from the front office, so I don't have any say in this. But I would love for the 49ers to go out and make a splash. I would love for us to go out and, now people call me crazy for this. I would much rather the 49ers go out and let Chase Young walk and get that conditional pick back and trade that conditional pick plus maybe a late round draft pick or whatever and go out and get Nick Bosa's brother, Joey Bosa, rather than going out and having to try to match an offer, because if you guys didn't hear, Brian Burns just recently got the non-exclusive franchise tag. In other words, that team can make, or other teams can negotiate with a player such as Brian Burns, and if the team can match the offer, such as if the 49ers were to make an offer for Brian Burns, let's say give him $20 million a year for 3 years, putting it at a 3-year, what would it be, 3 years, $60 million, the Panthers have the opportunity to match that. If they don't want to match that, Brian Burns would become a 49er, and the 49ers would have to give up 2 first-round draft picks in exchange for, Brian Burns. And why I say to go out and get Joey Bosa instead of Brian Burns or something is because of the fact that I want to see the two brothers unite. I've been waiting for it since the day I started football, when I learned that there was 2 brothers, when I learned one of the brothers was on a different team, but basically in the same standpoint, because they're in the AFC West, we're in the NFC West. They're still in California. They're basically right next to each other. You can drive 9 hours from one place to another and get to where their brothers are at. And I think for the 49ers, Chase Young and Nick Bosa reunited, former Buckeye boys back at Ohio State, reuniting the Bosa brothers would be, I think, really, really good. And I think it would just kind of show some brotherhood. And I really want to see that with the 49ers. You see Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce, yeah, they may not have played on the team, but they played against each other in the Super Bowl. Alright, we're getting sidetracked. Either way, coming from an NFL fan standpoint, coming from a 49ers standpoint, it sucks. Nothing I can do about it. We'll move on. 49ers will be your 2024-25 season NFL Super Bowl champion in New Orleans. 49ers, mark my words, will win Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans in Caesars Superdome. Do not doubt the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan is coming for revenge, and I promise you, it's coming sooner than you think. Anyway, with all that being said, if you guys did like the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you guys are notified when I upload another absolute banger. Thank you guys for coming to the video. I know some people were waiting for this video for a long time, so I'm sorry I was a little late on getting this video out, but I try my hardest. I try to upload as much as I possibly can. We'll try to make some videos in the future. Make sure to leave comments, video suggestions and stuff, so I know what I could do, what you guys want to see me do. That way I have kind of just a plan on what I want to do, especially with the summer coming up, and just my schedule is going to be kind of full because because I work at a water park, so I won't be able to do much. Maybe we'll do a day in the life at the water park, who knows. Anyway, thank you guys for coming to the video. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all later.